On the Palapala report, there will be no report at conference. We are entertaining 2 issues at conference to finalize. It will be the reports from the commissions, and then constitutional amendments, and that will be the business of the second leg of the conference. The issue of the Palapala report was referred to the National Executive Committee. As you know, there are important milestones in relation to this matter. There was a motion in Parliament that was defeated. There are members of the ANC who voted with the opposition, and their issue in terms of that particular matter, it has been referred to the National Disciplinary Committee. So the National Disciplinary Committee will deal with that particular matter, will be seized with that matter, because these are members of the ANC who have defied the mandate of the National Executive Committee. So that matter is referred to the DC. The Palapala issue, as and when it arises, if it will, the National Executive Committee will deal with the issue.
The ANC have just resumed the 55th National Congress, which was postponed last year in December. But before that, Fikile and Gwede, who's the Secretary General of the ANC at the moment, had told the media that in this report or in this agenda that they have to discuss in order for them to finish this 55th National Congress, the Palapala matter is not going to be discussed in. For what reason? We're going to find out in this video. But as they managed to resume the 55th National Congress today, the President of the Republic, Cyril Ramaphosa, had to take the stand and give his opening speech, which I'm inviting you to listen more careful and get to listen what the President had said before I come back and
have shortcomings. We need to do things differently. At the core of the tasks identified by a conference in December is the need to restore our relationship as a movement with the people of South Africa. Our duty as the ANC is to mobilize our people, but more importantly, as clearly set out in our Constitution, it is to serve the people of South Africa.
There is a lot that the President had said, but we had to summarize and bring you the best of what the President have said. So guys, first of all, when you get to listen to this speech that Mr. President delivered, you get to listen to the video that I play you earlier on about the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile and Gwede. You get to understand that when it comes to the matter of Palapala, it is something which has been considered in the past already. Yep. That is something that if you were counting or hoping to get to see this matter being discussed in this ANC conference, then just forget about it. Because when you get to listen to Fikile and Gwede himself, he was very clear in his message to remind people that this matter is not in agenda. Because according to him, he believed that since this problem was brought to the parliament and some parliamentary members have to go and vote to join the opposition parties against the president, and at the end of the day, the president ended up coming up as the winner. He managed to survive this motion or this problem to be treated in the parliament. For them, he believed that this problem is now in the past. Of course, I know he had to say something like this problem will be discussed on other parts of the ANC members, which we all know how the ANC policies works like. And there are matters whereby you get to see how corruption have to dominate, where you get to expect to see some serious treatment, treatment of matters. Instead, that does not happen. But corruption will have to take place because they'll have to tell you what to do and what not to do. They'll tell you who to vote and who not to vote. They'll tell you what to vote and what not to vote. So when Fikile and Gwede get to say this,
on the Palapala report, there will be no report at conference.
obviously, it's because he knows that it is now in the past. Now let us talk about the part or the speech that the Mr. President gave. Yes, this is a speech that I myself I was expecting from the president. Because remember, the president never comment much so far about the Palapala scenario. He never even want to say much, because even whenever he feel like saying something about this Palapala matters, he get interrupted by people who have to benefit from all this. As I said in our previous videos in the past year, that even the president wants to comment or to do what is right when it comes to this part of Palapala things. People who have to benefit from him, people who have something to benefit from this Palapala scenario, they will not gonna allow him to do so, isn't it? And these same people, they are doing everything by all means to make sure that the president, you don't have to answer anything. They are trying to do everything possible to make sure that this problem, it can be buried and life should move on. And when you listen to the president, he had to come and give a speech according to what they had given him by Fikile and Gwede as the highlight of this conference agenda. That Mr. President, we're going to discuss about this, we're going to discuss about that. So, therefore, in your speech, don't ever mention about Palapala reports. Don't say anything about this, because this matters was brought in the parliament, they treated in the parliament, you won over there, and that is it. The rest is not our problem. And the president, you have to come and do this, okay. As I said again, I'm not surprised. But this is happening within the ANC. What about on other side of the board, in the opposition party, political party, if I have to put it in that way? Did them also give up? Or do they also have to continue trying to fight this problem? Let's have listen more careful to what the president of EFF, Julius Malema, had said the moment when the president of Republic, Cyril Ramaphosa, was re-elected as the ANC, as a new elected ANC president. Let's get to listen what the opposition party or leader they have said.
So, a tsebe hore o wina o la a o bolele selo nkwe tlo e betha o fitela e rua o re tlo saka le ena o a rata Ramaphosa, he will not finish his term. Re tlo lwa le ena a re ko parlamente re re, from today this guy is a delinquent president. Ra re ntwa e thomile delinquent president. Akasa create peace in that parliament. We are going to fight him until he resigns, because how can you sleep on $1 mattresses when our people do not have water? Anamola varambata.
Well, you hear it very well. That is the president of EFF, Julius Malema. So for when you get to listen now on the side of opposition parties, they don't care whether Ramaphosa had won this ANC election or not. As long he's still in power as the president of the state, then he has something to answer. and they promise to fight him until the end. And when you get to listen even to more videos or press conference that the president of EFF or whether it's for people from the DA, they are also determined, saying that they are going to follow up the whole procedure to make sure that the president have to answer and give an explanation. An explanation because they believe that there is something which is not sitting okay in all this. Something is not adding up. Listening to the whole story and listening to the explanation that people are giving, these are total two things which are very different. You guys will get to see the video I play with, of the men who had to go and buy these ancolas in a Palapala farm. The man is coming with his explanation, which you can obviously tell that this is now a story that people that are trying to play with your minds. Look at that story. Look at the whole procedure. You get to see that it is just another drama.
On your version, you bought buffalo from Mr. President Cyril Ramaphosa, and on his version. And I was just wondering what it must be like to suddenly be at the center of all this attention with so many people trying to get your version of the story.
It is it's a normal business transaction for me. And it's nothing to do with His Excellency the President. I just went there and I bought cattle and buffaloes from the farm.
Where were you at OR? Did you come through OR Tambo?
OR Tambo, yeah. OR Tambo.
And you had a fair amount of cash with you, foreign currency.
Foreign currency, yeah.
How much did you have, and did you have to declare that?
Of course, it's $600,000. New banknote, it's packed. And I went straight away to the red sign where it's... Even I was looking for the police officers for the customs, but then they came.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Why do you travel with so much money? You hear, you mentioned this earlier, that they were willing to sell so many buffalo because they had financial problems, I think you said.
I hear from the guy in the hotel.
That the owners of Palapala had financial problems?
The farm. He didn't talk about owner. He said, he said, I hear that they're facing some financial issues, then they wanted to sell some of them.
And looking at what is going on, the report so far, we only have the independent panel reports. This panel which was chosen by the parliament, they bring it to the parliament, we get to see all the dramas that we saw, isn't it? Dramas after dramas. When you expect them to vote yes or no in the favor that will benefit the republic, that's what they did. And the next thing, this matter is forgotten in parliament. So the president is not going to answer in the parliament. But we're still waiting the report from the state capture, where we get to see another drama. This report is supposed to be delivered in less than 3 months. How many months are we talking about Palapala now? This report never been delivered. And whenever they are being asked this question, when will this report be delivered? They will tell you that no, we're still working on it. Still, we are waiting this report to be delivered as well from SARS. Yes. And the State Bank, they have to come also and give their side of story. Because when you get to listen to this man, the one who bought these uncles, the man is saying that he declared his money. If that is true, why all this time when they were making this noise about this Palapala things and the whole drama, we never get to see any report coming straight away from the Reserve Bank? Because it does not need to take days, weeks, months. It is very simple. The man says that I had declared the money. Well, take his passport or ID or whatsoever you have as identity document. Type his name in the system of SARS, in the system of Reserve Bank. We'll get to see all the information and publish it to the public. Why keeping quiet if you know that this man have done his part? You get now to understand why people are doubting. You get to understand now why opposition party and opposition leaders, they are going so crazy. So it's just a matter of time, but very disappointing to see that such a big event in the history of the ANC, and yet they're having serious problems which is supposed to be discussed to bring some clarity to everyone who usually vote for the ANC, to everyone who believe in the ANC leadership. These are the perfect moment to come forward and clean your names, to clean the name of your president about all the allegations against him. Instead, I have the strong feelings where I get to understand that the ANC people actually, they have this thing of imposing you what to do and what not to do. They are telling you what's going on. Do you guys do understand why Fikile and Mbalula have to refuse for this Palapala report to not be discussed in this conference? Well, it's because he knows very well that people that will discuss this report, they are different than the people who are sitting in the parliament, those who voted yes and no. These are people who are different from the national executive members of the ANC. These people are crazy. You guys get to see last year how they were so insane, speaking out their mind, freely singing, showing how happy and how unhappy they are, just to express their feelings without fearing anyone. So if they have to bring these things of Palapala report and put it on the table for these people to discuss it, I'm afraid to tell you that something's not going to sit well here. I'm afraid to tell you that it will be another drama. So that is it. Let's wait and see, because obviously they will get to discuss other matters such as the step-aside policy, which they find is more useful for them to use it. Step-aside policy. I would like to talk more about this, but I will discuss that in our next videos, because there is a lot of things I would like to also bring my analytics about it. When we're talking about step-aside, what is it benefiting the ANC? And what is it going to turn the ANC tomorrow? Because this step aside, I always tell you from the beginning that I never liked this idea. Step aside, for me, it simply means to say that, dude, look, we don't need you anymore. We don't like you. Just go. We don't want you to be in the ANC. Go, because if you want to remain the ANC, we're not gonna give you anything. You're not going to be elected. You're not going to get any position in the cabinet, anything like that. So they're tired of you and they want you to go. Now, when you feel like, okay, I'm no longer useful in this society, what do? You have to leave. You get to see some of people leaving, isn't it? I'll talk more about that in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video until now. My name is Dopsy for those who are joining us, and I really do appreciate it. This is a brand new here that we're starting, and we are back again here to do our best in our analytics, as we always do time to time, so that we can keep you on the loop on what is happening in the country. For now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.